What if the answer to one of the biggest questions in science wasn't in a lab, but hidden in ancient wisdom? That's what we're digging into today. We're talking about nothingness, and you'll see it's where modern physics and ancient mysticism totally collide.
All right, let's just jump right in with the big one, right? The question that stumps even the most brilliant physicists out there. What was there before the Big Bang? What was going on before the beginning of, well, everything?
So you've got these two completely different ways of looking at it. On one side, you have the scientific view, just an empty void, absolute nothing. But then on the other side, you have the mystics, and they saw something completely different. Not emptiness, but a fullness of potential, a kind of womb of being. So yeah, we're going to explore both of these incredible ideas. Okay, so first up, let's look at the physics side of things. Why is this whole idea of nothing such a massive headache for materialist science, the view that says physical matter is pretty much all there is?
So, the story science tells us is that about 13.8 billion years ago, our entire universe just exploded into being from this teeny tiny, infinitely dense point. We call it the Big Bang, and everything has been expanding out from there ever since.
But here's the really wild part. This whole cosmic expansion, it's not random. It's not chaotic at all. From the way a galaxy spins to how a planet orbits a star, everything follows this incredibly precise, deeply mathematical order.
And that right there is the fundamental puzzle. If there was literally nothing before the Big Bang, where in the world did the laws that govern everything come from? Think about it. You can't have rules if there's nothing for them to apply to. And to be honest, physics doesn't really have a solid answer for that.
Okay, so now let's completely shift gears. Let's see how ancient mysticism tackled this same puzzle, because, wow, it reframes the entire question in a really fascinating way. The mystics, they had a word for this state before creation, ādam. Now, it translates to non-existence, but, and this is key, it is totally different from the scientific concept of nothing. For them, it wasn't an empty void at all. It was a realm just brimming with pure, unmanifested potential.
A great mystic, Ibn Arabi, he gave it this amazing name, the realm of Ayn al-Thabata, which basically means the fixed essences of all things. The idea here is that before anything physically existed, its blueprint was already there. It's like the laws of math, the potential for a star to form, the very essence of what makes a tree. All of that was held in this realm, just waiting for the right moment to come into being.
So you can really think of it as this two-step flow. You start with ādam, this timeless, spaceless realm of pure potential. And from there, things move into wujud, which is the manifest world we see and touch, the world of time and space.
And this wasn't just some dry, abstract philosophy. This idea of a creative nothingness was this incredibly powerful source of inspiration for poets and for mystics.
Take the poet Attar of Nishapur. He wrote, "Go beyond existence and make peace with non-existence, ādam. For non-existence is the source of all the order in existence." How beautiful is that? He's saying that all the amazing order we see in the universe actually comes from this so-called non-existence.
And then there's Rumi, who takes it even further. He said praise to that non-existence ādam that plundered our being. From the love of that non-existence, the world of the soul came into being. For Rumi, this ādam isn't some cold, empty void. No way. It's dynamic, it's creative, it's even a loving source. It's where the soul of the world is born. Okay, so this is all really cool cosmic stuff. But what does it have to do with us, right here, right now? Well, let's bring this whole idea down to a really personal level. Because it turns out, ādam isn't just about the birth of the universe. It's also a state we can find inside ourselves.
Yeah. The mystics taught that this powerful non-existence wasn't just some abstract theory about the start of the cosmos. It's an inner state. It's a dimension of our own consciousness that we can actually tap into.
They called this inner journey fana. Now the word means annihilation, which sounds pretty intense, right? But it's not about physical death. It's the spiritual practice of letting go of the ego. That little I that's always chattering away, to make room for something much, much bigger to come through. And another mystic, Ayn al-Khuzat, put it so beautifully. He said, ādam is the playground of love. Love is the child of ādam. The idea is that in that inner emptiness, when the ego finally quiets down, that's where a really deep, profound kind of love can be born. And look, this isn't just some old philosophical idea.
There are these incredible personal accounts of people who would read just a single line from one of these mystics and feel this inner fire ignite, an energy so overwhelming that it would literally compel them to run barefoot into a field, just totally overcome by what was unlocked inside them.
So this is all incredibly fascinating, but you might be thinking, okay, how do I actually apply any of this? So let's break down a really simple framework for taking this idea from just a theory into a real lived experience. We can approach this in 3 steps. First is something called ontology. Don't worry about the fancy word. It just means asking, what is it? Acknowledging that maybe, just maybe, this inner emptiness beyond the ego is a real part of being human. Then comes epistemology, which is just how do I know it? This is where you find a method to explore it, maybe meditation or quiet contemplation, or just deep reflection. And finally, phenomenology. How do I experience it? This is all about just paying attention, observing how engaging with that inner space starts to change your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions day to day.
Because ultimately, the goal isn't just to think about this stuff. It's to actually transform a philosophical idea into a lived reality. You know, it's the difference between reading about water and actually taking a long, cool drink.
And all of this really leaves us with one last powerful question to ponder. What if the source of all that cosmic order and all that profound love, what if it isn't out there, somewhere in the stars? What if it's waiting right here, inside our own inner nothingness? What happens when we dare to look? Thanks for joining me on this journey today.